From expert IT support and cybersecurity to cloud services, telecoms and business software, our team can build trusted technology solutions tailored to you.
Sunset. Well, there always seems to be something on the line when these two sides collide. For the Londoners, this is about going top. With Gloucester Hartpury enjoying their bye week, the door is wide open for them to hit the front for the first time in over a year. For Exeter, this would be some statement. The biggest scalp in recent memory, the biggest win of their 2025. Well, they're in form, Chiefs, and so resounding, in fact, was that derby thumping of Bears that Steve Salvin has rewarded all 15 starters with a tilt at Saracens. The pack is uncompromising, cornered by the talismanic Rodgers and sealed with captain Emily Robinson. Maisie Allen has made 33 more tackles than anyone else in the league and has 6 tries in 6 outings. Alex Tessier, meanwhile, reckons there's no such thing as too many playmakers, and she completes a spine of tacticians who will look to unleash the out-and-out gas out wide. The visitors, meanwhile, are on a 6-day turnaround, perhaps reflected in the 6 changes made by Alex Osterbury. Kelsey Clifford shifts to Loosehead to accommodate Donna Rose, as Lou McMillan, who captained the side to Cup glory in October, gets a richly deserved start. Julia Macaulay wears 7 for the first time as Marley Packer cracks decorated knuckles from the base. Apps and Harrison continue at half-back. Sophie Bridges back in the run-out 15 after returning from injury. And full-back Jess Breach is replaced as of an hour ago by Gemma Jo Linkins. Not on this formation, but a crucial part of all of this is Kevin Rouet, Canada's head coach, and now officially the engineer of Saracens' attack. One of the game's worst kept secrets surrounding one of its very sharpest rugby minds. Well, it was an almighty fumble early doors, a tail between legs departure from Kingsholm. But Saracens have been scarily good since. Quins, Bears, Tigers, Trailfinders and Lightning each dispatched with an average scoreline of 50 points to 9. And here they come. Just last week, Emily Scarrett, you coached against this lot and you led at the hour mark. So go on, where are they there to be got at?
Thanks for reminding me, Claire. I know. Oh, I mean, Saracens have been in brilliant form. I think that first game of the season against Gloucester Hartpury almost did them a massive favour in terms of obviously going down the way they did. Yeah, I think, look, Saracens, they come hard in defence. You don't want to give them too much territory. You don't want to give them too much possession in the right areas of the field because they keep hold of it so well. But trust me, that's a lot easier said than done.
It certainly is. And here come our hosts, who will be pretty pleased to see the back of 2025, a year that they entered in 3rd before slipping from the playoffs entirely. Their head coach was dismissed, they lost a raft of key figures over the summer, and they were made to wait 12 months and 6 days between victories here at Sandy Park. How good has Maisie Allen been? Absolutely bouncing, as we heard in the build-up, to have a go at that woman there, the 2023 World Player of the Year, the 2-time World Cup winner, Marley Packer, whose Red Roses jersey she would love to snaffle just as she pilfers balls for fun across all 4 corners of this ground. Well, it's a very warm welcome to the pinnacle of the club game for Jamie Parr. There he is, there's Jamie. He gets a PWR branded whistle for the very first time this afternoon. Assistants Hollywood and Harry Walbum know all about this league, of course, as does our TMO, David Rose. Well, some things are certain. Gusty conditions at Sandy Park. Zoe Harrison looking ready to run through walls. And this fixture getting the blood pumping. Exeter for the statement, Saracens for top spot. Here we go. Speaking of walls, here is one. All the way from Munster, Dorothy in that hot pink scrum cap. Surely wearing that and nothing else in that fantastic exposed calendar that Chiefs have started printing down in these parts. Gemma Jo Linkins, wearing 15, when she arrived with a number 23 jersey in her kit bag, in for Jess Breach, who failed a late fitness test. Corrigan ships that wide and onto Gregson. As ever, those wingers just working in and getting involved. Inauspicious start for Sophie Bridger.
Yeah, but how good to see her back in the mix. Obviously been out for a little while with a few various bits and bobs, but great to see her back. And actually, she just tried to put that on her left toe. She's got a brilliant, very cultured left boot, if we can get herself on the ball. But Gemma Jo Lincoln's into the starting squad. Good carry from her. And then, interestingly, Saracens immediately trying to find the width from that first play.
No side in the competition starts quicker than the Londoners. They have managed 7 tries in the opening 10 minutes of fixtures so far. Exeter haven't managed 1 in that time. But here is Tessier and then Poulin and then Buchanan all working together to try and fix that. Flo Robinson onto Rogers. It's Hope Rogers we have to thank for all the Santa hats in the stands today. She called upon the Sandy Park faithful to dust off their fur-trimmed bonnets and make this place feel all festive.
It's sort of a whole year-round thing, isn't it? Normally with the Santa hats and Hope Rogers. So it's good to see it's finally December and we're seeing them in the crowd. But yeah, she's such an important player for this Exeter side, and certainly on a day like today, where set piece is going to be big, the physical battle in the middle is going to be big. It's going to be fascinating to see
Scrum,
how she goes
through the sequence.
Two pretty immaculate scrums here. Saracens operating at 94%. Chiefs have lost 1 of 49 put-ins this campaign.
Set.
And beneath that navy cap is the league's hottest property right now, Liv Apps, but she is backpedaling. That statement from the home side. Bridger onto Lincolns, who's got a lovely pass on her, a real playmaking back three, and managed somehow to cling on to that. Was Bridger.
Backwards again.
Evans can't gather. Jeers ring out from beneath our commentary position because they wondered, the Devonian people here today, whether or not that might have been a knock-on.
Always inside the half.
Either way, balls with Exeter. McGovern slams that long. Tassier in hot pursuit, sits up for Harrison.
Keep moving back, Sarries.
2 things we might have expected today, Emily. Turnovers by Exeter Chiefs and Zoe Harrison managing things immaculately.
Yeah, it's probably exactly as we would expect in terms of script-wise at the moment. Just a little bit sloppy from Saracens. They want to just get on top of that handling. But look at that, Linda van der Velden straight over the ball. Not necessarily your stereotypical build
Just
for a perfect jackler, but nonetheless gets her hands on the ball. Next to get themselves a good foothold now.
Wins the turnover, grabs the line out. The Netherlands captain, who started every game this term for Exeter. Through the hands, Cantona onto Tessier, that playmaking axis finding its groove. And here is Buchanan, who has had some towering days in black against the Wolfpack. The agent of their downfall here in the semi-final in 2023. One of the best games this league's ever seen, and she was its best player. Wall onto Van der Velden as the drums ring out for the first time in this round 7 clash. Maloney McDonald shapes for the offloaders. Good afternoon to Granzotto.
It's deliberate.
Saracens. The first penalty.
You've got on.
It's always something that you get a little bit from Saracens, is just that discipline, and that will be fascinating to see how that plays out throughout the rest of this game. You've got Exeter, who are the best in the league in terms of number of penalties conceded throughout a game, and Saracens head towards the other end of the scale. But really good first start, passage of play from Exeter, keeping the ball well, testing those edges, making Saracens go through some good defensive sets. And then this is where one of the big battles will come in. Good tackle from Gemma Jo Lincolns on the edge. But the maul, the line out, the scrum, that's where these 2 teams really go to town.
Well, your Loughborough mauled Saracens to pieces last week, Emily. So let's see how Chiefs fare in that same department. The start is stodgy. I think it's safe to say Donna Rose and Marley Packer enjoyed that one.
Tell you what, any turnover you get on your own 5-metre line is one you celebrate big.
Thank you.
And you're right. We spoke about it as somewhere where it's going to be a huge contest. And you can see just the way they come down, not able to turn.
Really nice pitches both sides, so same. Keep that
really
standard,
holds
please.
it up for Macmillan to just go in there and get her hands on it. And at that point, it's going to be incredibly difficult to ever get back on your side. Just really interesting seeing, obviously, Marley Packer packing down at number 8. She had a couple of brilliant carries off the base last week against Loughborough. And I think defensively we'll probably see her on the flank as well, so actually really utilising both sides of the ball in terms of her skill set.
You wonder if Packer will ever hang up the boots. Still a force. Oh, charge down Tessier's picked Saracens' pockets. Canada's captain, razor sharp, and it's first blood to Exeter Chiefs here at Sandy Park.
Oh, it was just a little bit laboured from Saracens, wasn't it? We spoke around Marley at the base. She, a scrum under pressure, does pretty well to get it out the back, but then it looks like Saracens are trying to play out the back. It's going out the back there to Liv Apps, and then Zoe Harrison just under so much pressure. Tessier isn't bothered about the edge threat. She just keeps going through. Understands that actually Zoe's got to throw a pretty big worldie to get it over her and Buchanan's head. So really good pressure from Tessier, and she gets the rewards.
Gabby Cantona, who's on kicking duties instead of Liv McGovern this afternoon, adds the extra 2. And it's the first score within 10 minutes Exeter have managed all season long. What a day to do it.
Yeah, and it came from that scrum. It does look a bit under pressure from a Saracens point of view. They had a few issues last weekend as well. But certainly something to keep an eye on. But great start from Exeter. They were in the right area of the field and they come away with good points.
We should say gorgeous conditions down here in Devon today. You could see the glow on Sarah and Skaz and Mo's faces a bit earlier on from Prez, but it really is dry as you like, a quick track, the breeze swirling as ever, but perfect for running rugby. And speaking of running rugby, Sabrina Poulan pins her ears back. She's so quick, but it's her compatriot, her teammate all in red, Alicia Corrigan, who's managed to scuttle back and hoover that one up. Sarri's pinned back yet again. Harrison onto Tessier, out now to Buchanan, who looks up, manages to go back infield against the grey. Not many get past Julia Amakwale. Messy ball, well handled there by Dogood, but May Campbell, for the second time in 2 weeks, fancies herself a chip and chase. Bridger chasing on after it. Beautiful footballing. 12 on 12, ball still going. It's absolutely harem scarum here at Sandy Park. Up rises Clee Maloney McDonald's. Hero at the death against Harlequins here, back in round 4. We've got 90 minutes, 90 metres rather, of pure chaos.
Just both sides really going after the counter-attack, aren't they? Liv McGovern gets that one out into touch just to calm us all down a little bit. But a couple of really nice counter-attacks from both kicks. This is May Campbell, just pushes through. She's got a better left boot than that, she'll tell us all. But it would just be interesting to see whether Sophie Bridger was actually onside on that chase or not. She looked around like she was a little bit concerned. Cantona tries to go down on it. Lottie Sharp comes through. There's a couple of chips prior to that as well. So this is the start to the game. I can't wait for the rest of it.
Thank you, they're good where they are. Close at the back, please. Thank you.
10 minutes of rugby, and we've had about 10 players put boot to ball. Macquarie can't gather. Scrum advantage for Exeter. What a start we've been treated to. Amy Rule, the Black Fern.
You're good on your feet. Back we come for the knock-on at the line-out.
With ball in hand for the first time, and she will be straight in at tight head for this Exeter put-in.
Number 1, HIA, Saracens.
So Kelsey Clifford will leave the field for a head injury assessment. North London's newest Centurion, the World Cup winner, which means that derobing beneath us, not for a calendar, but for some rugby, will be Liz Craik.
Yeah, of course, I'll make sure of that.
Off heads Kelsey.
Yeah, of course.
On comes Liz.
Yeah, so I will give them that message. I also need your loose head to stay square.
She's
in the
got a
contest.
pretty
I will
big
give them
job
that
to do
message.
as well, immediately coming into a scrum that has felt a little bit under pressure.
Okay,
it's
what on,
creaked
please?
in the first couple. They managed to get the ball out. Obviously an Exeter put in on this occasion, but I'm sure area of the field, if I was Exeter, I'd be putting my head down and I'd be going for a pen and an easy out from this position.
Either of you on that one, so both of you need to improve your picture. And just wait for buying for me, please. Thank you.
And you're right, the quite brilliant Amy Rule, Black Fern, will be licking her lips at the prospect of a newly arrived Liz Craik and the havoc she might cause. McGovern behind the scrum, Tessier to her flank, Cantona the other playmaking option. This is what Steve Salvin was hoping for. So many orchestrators.
Set. Use the ball.
And that a glimpse of Marley Packer on the flank, in defence, flying up and stopping Emily Robinson.
Yeah, the pace she gets off the back of that. She knows it's probably going to be an 8 pick from that position, but the pace she gets was awesome.
Poulin, just her second start at fullback, couldn't quite find Buchanan.
And I think this is one of the key differences potentially we've seen in Exeter this season. Just that, albeit that one didn't come off, but that ambition at that time period in the field where they are, just to give that a crack on the outside. There was an opportunity, as you say, just a slightly inaccurate pass that doesn't get Buchanan flying down her edge. But that's something that's been pleasing for me to see from an Exeter point of view. Just having a look at those opportunities before kicking the ball.
And there's the man behind it, Ollie Bishop, in the snapback. Arrived from Trailfinders over the summer, but they'd wanted him for years down here at Sandy Park. Packer finding fellow back rower Evans, who smuggled that on wonderfully. Bridges flat pass onto Gregson. Leading the charts in so many departments for Saracens is the centre. Campbell spills that one. And it really is working for them, Emily, what Ollie Bishop is doing in these parts, because they managed 9 try-bonus points across 16 rounds last season, which ultimately proved the difference. They won as many games as Bristol Bears, but they missed out on the playoffs by dint of points tallied. This season, a try-bonus point from every game.
It makes such a huge difference. Obviously, you think they've had a couple of draws along the way, but managed to score 4 tries in those. Yeah, you've just got to keep the scoreboard, in terms of the table scoreboard, ticking over. And, you know, if you're not quite getting the results that you want, being able to score 4 tries, getting extra points on the board, as you say, it elevated them above some teams who had more wins, last season. So, yeah, as it plays out, it's massive. And obviously, you score 4 tries, you give yourself a much better chance of winning a game as well.
Set. Thank you.
Some kick from Tessier. She's got willowy limbs and she uses them to great effect. Sharp accelerating into contact there, and the territory complexion has just transformed off the back of that kick. Immaculate carrying up to the 10-metre. Chiefs have another one.
You're off your feet now, let go.
And who else but Maisie Allen? The young open side, who's spent the last 2 seasons averaging 1 jackal turnover a game. Tessier with some wonderful footwork there. Corrigan left for dead. Buchanan catches that mid-flight over the top of Lincolns.
Player goes straight off feet and 13's on the feet.
Tit for tat.
10 goes off feet.
Both teams so good at the breakdown. And we're seeing it at the moment. Both sides will be talking about that attacking breakdown, how important it is to work on the floor, for players to arrive quickly. This is the first one. Great chop tackle by Flo Robinson, and immediately straight over the ball. Maisie Allen's the recipient, but I don't think she's the one quite getting over the top of the ball. And then this one, again, Sydney Gregson, straight over the top. You'll find it so much more on the edges because there's not the density of players around the ball, so it's a much almost easier place to try and target those jackals.
Pinwheeling Packer picks out Bridger. That's nice. There's the wraparound, but she found the wrong centre not Bridger, but Tessier, who, whilst tumbling, has got that onto Allen. Wall. Van der Velden with a canter. Rogers looks up and has Duguid on her shoulder. Everyone's out of formation here. It's the look forwards in attack for Exeter. It's the hooker in defence for Sarries out wide.
14's good over the ball. 2 needs to roll.
And this, an opportunity for Tessier to bury this in the Sarries 22.
Well, Mo and I spoke pre-game around both sides want to try and offload the ball, and we're seeing it, but at the moment we're just not sighting the players that they're trying to find. And this is where, for both sides, it's actually you live and die by the sword, so you keep trying it and hope that we're pulling some off.
Just on the edge.
This is the first one. Sydney Gregson just gets half through, assumes that Sophie Bridge is going to be the first person there. Tessier does a brilliant job of staying in that channel.
Sarries open, 17.
That's a very nice, cultured little flick off the ground as well to Hope Rogers and set Exeter off. These edge breakdowns, they're a bit of a 50-50 at the moment.
Good timing.
Flo Robinson cutting out 5 Saracens with that pass there. Rogers sucking in another 4 of them to make the tackle. She takes some bringing down, does the loose head.
Nice and easy, Daisies. Nice and easy.
There's no love lost between these two sides, is there?
Definitely not. And I think that's why both sides love this fixture. They love coming against one another, whether it's here at Sandy Park or at the Stone X. Hope Rogers looked like she might have got a little bit of tension on the hair there on her carry, but big carry from her, big physical battle again in the middle. But both sides just being a little bit loose with the ball. I think that only that first passage of play that obviously Exeter scored from is the only time we've seen genuine continuity from one side. Wonder if some messages will be coming on, just actually a bit more direct, bit more phases through, getting some good areas from both sides.
Bind. Set.
Look at that, a golden hour scrum between second and third in the PWR. Second comes up trumps.
More patience, please.
Harrison lights the touch paper on whatever is to come next in a game which has calmed a little since the first 10, but still feels properly on a knife edge. Switching the point of attack, McGovern onto Poulin.
No advantage, not rolling.
Exeter trying to get down these outside channels, and there are opportunities there. For me, they're just a little bit flat at the moment, so actually they're not able to run onto the ball, really take advantage of that opportunity, really stress the Saracens' defence, just giving them easy opportunities to get up in the channels and defend them a bit more easily than they'd like.
Numbers, please.
On the live, ladies. On the 10, on the 10. Thank you. Backwards.
Corrigan in off her wing, and Marley Pack has juggled and failed to gather. These are the sides in the league who concede the most turnovers, but you almost get the sense that they're so aware of the threat the other ones pose that they're creating more of them for themselves.
Yeah, a little bit, and this is a brilliant option. Rosie Gallagher out the back, Zoe Harrison, that ball right across the front. Look, Marley Packer will not be happy with that, I can tell you that for free. It's great play. It's almost she's found herself in too much space. She's taken her eye off the ball. She's thinking about when she's going to deliver it to the outside, but certainly that lady on screen, her passing ability, her kicking ability, she'll have a huge, huge play in how today works itself out.
Let's go, Donna Rose. Let's go, Donna.
Crouch.
Her defence against your Loughborough Lightning was outstanding last week as well. Perhaps an area of her game she doesn't get the credit she deserves.
100%. Obviously, you speak about tens, and generally it is the kicking game, the passing game. I think for Zoe, she's certainly worked a lot on her running game as well, but her defence, you're right, is, you know, when you preview teams and you look at maybe channels to run down, 10 is always one of those that teams will look at, of course. I think with Saracens and Zoe Harrison, it's not necessarily somewhere that you look at.
For now, though, the territorial management, the kicking duties falling more heavily on the shoulders of Alex Tessier, wearing 13. So often see her at 12 or at full back, perhaps even at fly half, but outside centre today. And that's where she stands now on this attacking thrust. Allen straightening up. Perhaps looking for something a little more direct, Exeter, and directness will come from Hope Rogers. That's a guarantee. The dummy, the delay onto McGovern, floated onto Poulin. Her battle with Corrigan has been mouth-watering.
Scrum advantage.
Dropped over the shoulder of Maloney McDonald. Scrum advantage for Saracens as Craik gets over that to secure it. McMillan driven backwards. Emily Robinson not rolling.
Just compounding an error really from Exeter. Obviously the knock-on that was a little unforced, turning it into a penalty, turning it into an opportunity. Saracens and Zoe Harris can hoof their way nearly up to the halfway line. Just starting to build something quite nicely, just that unforced error. And I mean, Saracens do well in terms of trapping her in there, and it's exactly the outcome you want. A penalty from there is such a pressure reliever.
Well, Dorothy Wall applying pressure there to perfection.
It's another awesome battle within a battle, isn't it? You know, the line out, Rosie Galligan
Your bind, please, on the
was
far
so
side
prominent again last week against Loughborough Lightning, both sides of the ball. And again, for both these sides, their line out and their maul and the platform that that can create is so important to them. So if they're struggling a little bit, yeah, it makes such a difference to where they're able to end up on the field. The momentum shifts. You can see there, it's all with Exeter at the moment.
Bind. Set.
Well, they've got them on toast at scrum time at the moment.
Number 3. Just on the 15.
The work of Rogers, Maloney McDonald, and of Amy Rule, and with titans to come on as well, because don't forget, Steve Salvin has got 6 legitimately world-class front rowers at his disposal here. Totosi coming on later on, Demi Swan, Dalika Menon.
I mean, it's a World Cup final, partly starting front row, isn't it, with Dalika Menon and Emily Totosi, which is an unbelievable offering that you've got down here. So you're right, the scrum time is only continue to be a strength for Exeter.
Need, though, to start making these count. All the ball, precious little to show for it. Here comes Allen, as they fired from a crossbow there. Rogers, just as titanic, ball in hand, but they're just not executing cleanly. Counter-attack opportunity here, Linkins, that's what she does. Such a playmaking back 3 athlete, and look at the chase. Lottie Sharp, but bounced off. Sit down, says Poulin. McGovern with a fantastic pressure relieving kick. Bridger can't get the job done, and despite all of that, we are back where we started.
It's another bit of turnover carnage, which we're all here for. Again, just shipping it to the edge. That's a really smart, clever kick down the channel from Gemma Jo Linkins. And as you say, look at Lottie Sharp tearing after that. Then you think if she can complete that tackle, it puts Saracens in such a good position. Poulin says no, ships it on.
Please. Thank you.
It's a good kick from Liv McGovern in a tight space on the field, and Exeter have another opportunity.
Van der Velden and Wall really sharing that line-out responsibility. Here's Cantona onto Allen, just about gathered by Tessier. Balletic through Devonian skies there, hoofed on by Buchanan. It's yet more turnover ball. Nothing's delineated today, nothing is settled.
And I'm kind of here for it, to be honest. And there's another opportunity here for Saracens if they decide they want to try and hit this edge where they've got some good space.
Galligan rootles through her box of tricks and pulls out the stop step. Harrison with footwork of her own. That's delightful. Bridger in open prairie, got support from Apps, who's one of the quickest and most dangerous players in the league right about now.
Hands away!
All of a sudden, Wolf tails are up and Macaulay plays scrum half. That's their modus operandi. So many numbers. Who wants it? Lincoln's with the fix. And then the carry up to within the 5 metres.
Granzotto does a brilliant job defensively there, just managing all of those numbers.
Sarries, ball in hand, try scored. It's May Campbell who will score 5 meaty points off the back of all that chaos. Saracens have arrived in Exeter.
Oh, Saracens are back in this game, aren't they? We knew it wasn't going to be too long. This is where it started. Zoe Harrison throws the big one, steps inside, then offloads. Sophie Bridger on the line, just looking around, thought she'd pass that a little bit early to Olivia Rapps. She does so well, stays really strong in the tackle. And then at this point, Saracens have got about a 6-on-1 on the outside. That's where I said Granzotto's done a brilliant job just to manage that initially. And then at this point, this is where Saracens come to life. When they're this close to the try line, they've got the best red zone efficiency in the league so far.
We need better from her at the moment.
Their forwards take over and May Campbell does a brilliant job.
Zoe Harrison, the finest markswoman in the whole of the PWR. Can't make that one stick, but 2 visits, ball in hand to the red zone, 5 points.
Yeah, and as I say, their red zone efficiency, I think, is pretty much 1 from 2 every time they get into there in terms of tries scored. They're so good at it. They're so prolific. Their forwards especially just take control, take charge, understand what it is they're doing. And somebody like May Campbell, you know, she's slightly lower to the ground anyway, but she's always so good at scoring, finding the try line.
Wait there too.
Harrison clears. We can all get our breath back and we can head into the Exeter Chiefs coaching box because Ollie Bishop has the pleasure of a chat with our very own Jenny Drummond.
Thanks very much, Claire. Ollie, unfortunate timing, I have to say. Sorry about this. But look, what have you seen in the first 30-odd minutes?
Well, for us, I think we're getting momentum in terms of playing in the right areas of the pitch, getting some dominant carries. For us, it's the fundamentals. If we can hold on to the ball for a couple more phases, I think we'll be able to get a few more scores on the board.
Do you think that's the difference?
Yeah, I'd say so. At the moment, I think we have the momentum and winning the physicality battle. At the moment, Sarries seem to be living off our mistakes.
In terms of the kind of attack overhaul, you seem to have had a really big influence, and it seems to be going very well in terms of the number of tries you're scoring. What's kind of the mantra from your perspective?
For us, it's just about being brave and allowing players to kind of express themselves on the pitch. They've got a freedom to make good decisions, create one-on-ones and go for it. And they're loving it. They're doing such a good job. It's not on me, it's on them for doing well on the pitch.
You're allowed some credit. Thanks very much, Ollie.
Thank you very much.
He's so laid back, Ollie Bishop. You can hear when he talks about giving the girls freedom to express themselves. It would be very easy to buy into that as one of his players, to actually believe that you can go out there and make decisions.
100%. And I'll tell you one thing, if you've got a relaxed attack coach, it certainly helps.
Hang on a minute, here comes Sophie Bridger.
That feels a little story of the half, doesn't it? Just created a bit of an opportunity, Exeter been a bit slack and then just not quite able to take real advantage of it. You thought for all money she was absolutely flying through here. Just look really good from her in terms of chasing high, staying in the picture. Looks for the offload and Alicia Corrigan can't quite hold it. But again, I think Ollie Bishop just spoke about it. Saracens potentially living off a bit of, well, nearly all of Exeter's mistakes and just forcing some of those passes, and he's dead right.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Ready. Wait for the ball, please. You're outside the 22.
Spiralled off the all-time top point scorer's boot, Liv McGovern, who became a half-centurion against Sale. Just as decorated a boot, that of Harrison, gathered up by her opposite number, Maloney McDonald. Wool, roll round the corner. Flo Robinson finding Poulin, who's been involved, mitts on everything, hands in every possible cookie jar.
Backwards.
Again, fundamentals, just letting that Ollie Bishop-Hune attack down at this point. That try feels an awfully long time ago, but that's a smart kick from Robinson.
Really lovely kick from Flo, just picked her head up. Perhaps didn't quite get the distance she wanted on it, could have headed towards that touchline a little bit more, but again, just turning the screw a little bit from Exeter, staying in good areas of the field.
That shot from Allen on Sharp, thunderous. Took out both her kneecaps. Harrison to Gallagher. There's a 2v1 here, but on the arc is the look forward in from Gregson. Corrigan now, Craik. This is the Kevin Rouet attack, the support lines on the shoulders, the crisp, deft handling, she says.
Got that backwards.
Now it's Chiefs' turn to have a go. Tessier on to Granzotto, who plays the game on 1.5 speed. She really does, the little Italian. Comfortable at scrum half, fullback and out on the wing, and she's been pulling up trees in training, Alex Tessier said in the week. Here is Tess. Rogers still going. Robinson off the deck and onto Cantona. At last, some sustained possession for Chiefs. McGovern, Wool, sees Donna Rose and Liz Craik in front of her and sets back in against the grain.
May Campbell is having a go at nearly every breakdown she's anywhere near at the moment. If she can get over that ball and jackal it, she is giving it a good shot at the moment.
Tricky take for Tessier, penalty advantage. I wonder if she'd heard that at a different point in time. She might have played that slightly differently.
We go back for the penalty, playing the 9.
Gemma Jo Linkins just lets that bounce and roll a little bit wherever it wanted there. He just thought for a second Katie Buchanan was going to be all over that.
Playing the 9.
But as you say, whether she'd heard it or not, it's a smart little nudge into the corner. As soon as that's bouncing, it could go anywhere. In the end, Gemma Jo Linkins does a brilliant job of being able to regather that.
Penalty.
Didn't even consider the posts there.
No, it's interesting again, certainly in not necessarily years gone by, but certainly last season they would definitely look at kicking 3 points, keeping scoreboards ticking over. They've definitely shifted mindset to a far more attacking one. It's interesting, we haven't seen, obviously that first one they didn't quite get right, but we've not really seen genuine balls from Exeter yet. We've seen them pulling out in that +1, so it'll be interesting to see where they go to here.
Well, here comes a genuine maul. It's Wall at the heart of it, that hot pink scrum cap and all the muscle you could wish for. Maloney McDonald has it at the base. The drums ring out at Sandy Park. Flat ball onto Tessier, who slides and scores. So second of the game, and that right there is the new look Exeter Chiefs. They don't play for 3s, they play for 5s and 7s. And when they hit you hard.
I mean, it's so fair enough. Turn down the 3 points if you're going to score 5 or 7. You're dead right. The Maul initially had no joy from it. Just look at the amount of Saracens defenders that are on that line. Exeter sent Tessier forward, one runner. She's got one tip outside of it, but they're just not able to pick it up. Saracens' defence will look at that and think, we should have done a lot better with the numbers that we had. Zoe Harrison's potentially appealing just to make sure that that grounding is right. Looks good to me. But what a finish that is by Alex Tessier.
Right when this club was formed, this side pulled together by Susie Appleby, she signed Gabby Cantona from the Glendale Merlins. She's been pulling the strings since day dot, and she's doing it again today. 2 more points added, Exeter with a 9-point buffer.
It's a brilliant try from Tessier. It's not necessarily something you would say is her strength in terms of running big, hard, short lines. She's a playmaker. She's a runner with the ball. So it's an awesome, awesome finish from her right at the line.
Taken back.
She's enjoying those spirals today, McGovern. Harrison. Just looking to pull that Chiefs defence all out of kilter. Rose looking to bludgeon right through it. Gallagher now. 2.9 seconds Saracens have been averaging for their ruck speed. I reckon it's significantly slower than that today. Exeter have taken plenty of heat out of their attack.
Yeah, we've not really, well,
Offside, number 2.
you may have heard Alex Osterbury shouting that one before the referee did, but
Number 2
yeah,
offside.
and we've just not really seen Olivia Apps jinking around like we have in a lot of the other games. But the thing that happens when you get quick ball, it's all a knock-on of a previous thing. So it's been a strong carry, it's been sustained periods with the ball, physical at the breakdown, all of that sort of stuff, and then it allows your 9 with quick ball to take on defenders that are still retreating. So actually everything is a knock-on of the previous thing. We've just not seen that really build from Saracens yet today.
There you have it, a world-class scrum half. No, I'm not talking about Liv Apps, I'm talking about Mo Hunt. She's down pitch side for us and she's got something to tell us.
I am indeed. Thank you so much. We thought that we were going to get an unbelievable game, and it is massively happening today. The one thing that I want to focus on, though, we've spoken about the offloading ability of both of these teams, and for me, it's just too close to the line. They're not giving each other any space to be able to run through and take it on, which is why we're seeing so many handling errors. I imagine we'll see that rectified at half-time, but a massive opportunity now for Saracens to control this at the end of the game, going into that half-time break, need to come away with points.
Thank you very much, Mo, who no doubt has been scrutinising the festive latte offerings from the coffee shack across the pitch these days. Now she's an entrepreneur. For the avoidance of doubt, that is May Campbell, not Liv Apps. Very familiar face to this competition, one of its standout players for years now, and she will scoot around to the back of that big white Saracens tractor to within 6, but crabbing something rotten. The work of Maloney McDonald and Wall. Octopus Limbs looking to make a mess of this. But on thrashes Crake with a Macaulay for company. Saracens not used to trailing. They've been the dominant force in this competition, along with Gloucester Hartbury, since round 2. Round the corner, going nowhere fast, Macmillan.
Ball is here, no.
Chiefs screaming to our referee, appealing that there was a knock-on in all of that, but here comes a Macaulay who's got the start of a sprinter. The arms of Inspector Gadget. And the try to go with it.
Nice and easy.
The pace at which she picks that ball up and carries the first metre from the breakdown in that area of the field is unbelievable. We know what she's like in open play. I think she's still one of the fastest players we have in the PWR, certainly fastest forwards. And her ability to pick that up, stay low, move over that first metre as quick as she does, immediately takes her outside those first 2 defenders. Then she's battling, then she's fighting.
Thank you.
If you can't get square hits on her close to the try line like that, you're always going to be slightly on the back foot, and she does a brilliant job once she's over the try line, just to find the grass with the ball.
Yeah.
What a score that was.
It's the picture we've got at the moment. We haven't had one for a while, but we'll keep refereeing what we see, all right?
Taking this right to the wire is Harrison. And taking that to the outsides of the upright. She looks disgusted with herself, tosses the tee back to the assistant coach. But there you have it, Julia Immaculate getting Saracens a little foothold in a half where they have sputtered. They'll head to the sheds behind for the first time since that opening round when they were stunned at Queensholme by the three-time champions. That woman there, the story of a topsy-turvy but highly entertaining first 40. Exeter Chiefs with a 14-10 lead at the break.
Today we're here with Gallagher, the new insurance partner of PWR. And they've challenged us to get to know the players. So excited to know that PWR has a new partner in Gallagher. I say as a women's game going. Given Gallagher's role as both a broker and risk management partner, how do you personally reconcile the moral hazard inherent in arrogate, love slowly with the emotional mortality of elite sport?
I'm just saying that Gallagher are the one managing that. From expert IT support and cybersecurity to cloud services, telecoms and business software, our team provides trusted technology solutions tailored to helping your business stay secure.
When you come to Sandy Park and you're celebrating, we like to give you a shout and embarrass you. Happy birthday to Sam Miles from your daughters Florence and Olivia, wife Michelle and sister Jenny, and they insisted I tell everyone here you're 48. So happy birthday, hope you're enjoying celebrating with the Exeter Chiefs. And and the Chiefs women will be returning to Sandy Park. It feels like an age away, but you know it will come round the 1st of February as they take on Leicester Tigers. Get your ticket at the ticket hub when you get home. We are doing a special kids for a quid offer for that match, so bring the whole family to Sandy Park and let's kick off the second half of the season in style. And talking 2026, the Chiefs men will be back in the Challenge Cup against Cardiff in a newly Anglo-Welsh clash, and you know they're going to bring loads of fans down the M5 and L4 from the Welsh capital, so we want to make it that fortress that we know Sandy Park is. Tickets start from just £5, and it'd be great to have you back here for that. And don't rush off after the game today. We are celebrating Christmas, and our players will be in the Woodbury Bar for their after-game post-match meal, and you can join them. We'll be showing the EPCR Champions Cup match between Munster and Gloucester, so come in and raise a glass to the festive season as you watch that in the Woodbury Bar. We have been loving your selfies. We're going to get some more back on the screen in a minute, Sandy Park. If you haven't sent one in, if you're a bit nervous, just do it. Go on. Scan the QR code that's on the big screen now for the PWR fan cam. Get it into us, and we'll get it in rotation with the play. There are other photos and selfies that we've had today, so get scanning. Stand by, standing by for the second half of round 7 of the PWR. We'll welcome both our teams back out in a few minutes' time, but thank you so much for all your selfies on the PWR Grand Camp. You have spoiled us and they're now on the screen, so do enjoy. Standing by, the second half is coming, please. Welcome back today's visitors, Saracens.
Well, this one, a matchup that we adore as much as these two heavyweights, these two contenders really don't adore one another. And it is really living up to the billing. Steve Salvin spoke in the week about how this is a real opportunity for both of these sides to make a statement. His women all in black and emerging now to the sounds of timpani. It's a chance for them to take the biggest scalp they have taken in some time. For Saracens, it is a chance to leapfrog the reigning and three-time champions right to the summit of the standings. While the cat of Gloucester Hartpury is away,
Rosie, you got me?
the mice, the wolf pack,
Jamie. Go well, mate.
will play.
Yeah.
Alex Tessier, who's had fingers in every pie in the opening 40, will get things back underway. No doubt words like accuracy, fundamentals, said over and over the past 15 minutes. We build this one, Emily Scarrett, as the attack of Kevin Rouet up against that of Ollie Bishop. We've seen glimmers of both. Which of those two do you think will be the happier?
I think the Ollie Bishop one has probably got to be a little happier just purely by the scoreboard and chances potentially created. But I think it's really interesting now in terms of how they both approach the second half. Do they stick with it and just try and be more accurate, or actually do they tighten things up a touch, not for Exeter, and try and get themselves in better field positions?
Liv Apps, just as she has done for years on the Sevens circuit, stealing ball. Chiefs have had the lion's share of territory and of possession. But just two Gabby Cantona conversions the difference here.
Hold 8.
Poulin looks up, assesses her options, is promptly gathered by Lincolns. Tessier just having one of those afternoons. The footwork has been sumptuous, and she spied a little bit of unoccupied turf. Mark called by Sharp, and that is what the US Eagle brings you.
It is, and she's had obviously 2 tries in that first half from Tessier.
Make sure we're behind.
This is just, as you spoke about, it's not necessarily her big, powerful running at the line, but the softer skills, the ability to offload, see a defender that's shot out, get in behind. The
just
kick, probably a little bit
edge
speculative post that. As you say, gave Lottie Sharp the easy opportunity just to mark that and clear their lines, but she's having a huge impact on this game so far.
We normally consider Henry Slade Devon's velvetiest export, but it's the woman wearing 13 today who's pulling all the strings, dictating tempo, scoring the tries too. Overthrow lands right in the arms of Campbell, and all of a sudden Saracens find themselves with front foot ball. Might they now generate some of that blistering rugby that has seen them soar up to second in the standings? Gregson floating out and onto Corrigan. One of the hardest workers. Alicia Corrigan, that's what Alex Osterbury loves her for. The dog as much as the dynamite. Harrison playing a 1-2 with Evans. That one knocked on. So Saracens with a centre field scrum here if they can't make anything of this opportunity, but they might just do that. Corrigan spies the half gap. Granzotto's tackle. Apps finding Evans on an incisive line. Evans with one to beat with McMillan in support, and that a richly deserved score for Saracens' beloved cup captain Lou McMillan. First start of the season, and she's just given Sarries the lead for the first time all afternoon.
Well, Georgia Evans has had a couple of brilliant impacts on this second half already in that one passage of play. Initially linking up with Zoe Harrison, and then just look at here, she's top of your screen, she's coming across, working towards the breakdown. Nobody picks her up because she's come from so far away, and then it's a brilliant 2-on-1. As you say, Louise McMillan pushes through so well. Look at that line, just coming back at the grain. When you come from that far away, defenders don't see you coming generally because they're not picked their head up that wide. It's a great score.
At last, Harrison dials in on the space between the sticks. 17 plays 14. She's a long way from home, Lou McMillan. She hails from Glasgow, all the way down on the south coast, but what a score.
It's a brilliant score, and it's almost that line back at the back of the referee. You don't use him, he's not getting in the way at all, but it just alters the line of sight from defenders just a touch. It's incredibly smart from Georgia Evans.
On the tee, please.
Having not trailed since their opener at the break, Saracens within 3 minutes put themselves in front here. This will be a real test of what this Chiefs side is all about. And terrifyingly, the Wolfpack have managed 3 tries from 4 visits.
Advantage knock on.
Campbell almost sees that one, but instead it's Cantona with it. Allen. Poulin.
Tackle release!
There's another knock on in midfield there,
Thank
Jamie.
you, yeah.
McGovern
Advantage
rakes
over.
that one through.
There's a couple of knock-ons there that Sarries had obviously given Exeter. And it's a smart kick from Liv McGovern, but you've not made a huge amount of ground. You could have had a scrum probably 5 metres further back if you take that advantage and really had a go at them, given how dominant their scrum have been so far.
Brilliant nuisance making in the line out there by Van der Velden. That stymied any first phase opportunity for Saracens. Rose has a chug, Immaculate to the breakdown. That's something you don't see very often. Apps assembling a caterpillar. Hoists herself into lavender Devon skies. Granzotto running hard.
You're off feet, let go. Thanks, Six.
Packer
Back.
ordering Evans to release that ball. Need to keep their discipline squeaky clean. Buchanan carrying now up over halfway and shrugging off Lincolns. Allen in the wide channels. 6 tries and 6 outings. 10 if you count the cup. McGovern. Maloney McDonald in the line. Tessier's been beating defenders all afternoon. She kicks that one on sharp. Scampers back. Lincolns will get to it first, but she's got plenty of Chiefs to company. Tackle made. No one in there at the breakdown for Saracens. Oh, brilliant from Apps. All of the tenacity that she's honed on the 7th circuit.
I don't know about you, Claire, but I thought she was potentially going to run 60-odd metres then. I thought she was away. Just a little bit of fatigue maybe in the legs. Couldn't quite burst out from that breakdown as we do all hope.
Use it.
Harrison can't find touch. Here comes McGovern. I don't know what these Exeter Chiefs are bench pressing, but some of the handoffs today have been stunning. Rule. Tessier. Allen. Toulin on her shoulder, surely taken high there by Bridger. And the ball says our implacable referee. Craig's still out there, wearing 17, so Kelsey Clifford having failed that HIA. Craig's going to play a lot of minutes. What a defensive set from the Londoners, from the 3-time champions. They've driven Chiefs backwards over 6, 7 phases here.
Nothing clear. I've got it on the ball, on the chest.
Grabbed around the chest. Robinson runs into Rose, who's a burly bouncer. Says it's 1 in, 1 out, thank you very much, and I'll be having that.
No, I believe all the contact was made on
I mean,
the
what an outcome that is for Saracens. They've really put through the mill defensively.
Yeah, of course.
Held their shape, made their tackles. The thing with Saracens that you do sometimes get is they do get a bit short. They can get short. They like to come off the line. We can hear the coaches below us shouting, get off the line. You know, they want that line speed impetus, certainly. Jamie, we saw that in that initial Tessier break.
Jamie, the tackle does end up around the neck. It's just a PK only though, mate. It starts on the ball and ends up around the neck.
David Rose, our TMO.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a quick one. The team has just come in to say that the contact did start on the ball on this tackle, but it rose up and made neck contact, so it's just a penalty, and it'll be here, okay? So it will be an Exeter penalty, just to let you know. Thank you.
Well, this is what they're talking about. Yeah, Lottie Sharp just comes in, just goes high around that neck.
Captain.
Referee initially said he thought he was happy with it, chest and ridden up, but got that information on.
So it will be a penalty to you here, okay? Thank you.
So changing fortunes in terms of discipline.
Number 8.
Nothing going, turns into a penalty kick for Exeter. So up steps Tessier, and you can see they're wearing 16 and 18. 2 genuinely world-class operators, Emily Tutosi and Delika Menon. The riches at Salvin's disposal. Tessier, though, can't find touch.
Hold in front, 4 stop. Thank you.
Harrison can.
Well, Exeter still get that opportunity. Emily Tutosi straight on to the ball boy, trying to get that ball, trying to get them going again. But certainly, I think Tessier was going for a break there, and why not get a 5-metre line out, give yourself a real opportunity. As it is, they still have possession. Saracens in for another big defensive set.
2 metres.
Trick play, Tutosi onto Van der Velden, 2 of this club's original heavyweights. Rogers, another one. Oh, Flo Robinson spotted space down the blind side. Knocked
by White.
Backwards by Macmillan. Rising with it is Immaculate, who honestly goes off like Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price. The acceleration is unbelievable from the Canadian. Bridger with the half break. Packer, Saracens now looking to counter. 3 scores already. Corrigan, 5 tries and counting for her campaign, has just about managed to keep that in.
Well, everyone had stopped. I think Hollywood on the far side had put a flag up, but it actually stayed in, so nearly everyone chasing it just stopped.
Packers stayed down. Sharp with it now. Calls off attack coming in from underneath our commentary position. Sharp does exactly that.
Advantage.
Offloads to Bridger, but can't make it stick. Packer limping back into the attacking line here, but Saracens keeping it tight for now because they're on the back foot here defending.
No advantage. Knock on Scrum. And the ball crossed the plane of touch and then came back into the field of play.
Yet again.
No,
what a passage of play.
We've cleared that up, OK? Apologies for any confusion, OK? Scrum, black ball.
Referee just clearing that one up there, but Saracens again. This is Alicia Corrigan down the touchline. Right decision under that much pressure. Ball actually stays in. That's why the decision changes. Everyone's stopped by that point. Saracens keep playing. Have an opportunity wide, and then this from Lottie Sharp. She sees Dorothy Wall in front of her. Everyone's shouting to give it a go. She tiptoes herself down the touchline, excuse me. Can't find Bridger, and it's absolute harem scarum again.
Crouch.
We told you this one would be good. Saracens have won 7, Exeter have won 5 in this head-to-heads history. Away wins are at an ultimate premium, just one for the Londoners back in May 2024. But they've got eyes for a second win here. A win that would see them hit the top of the PWR charts. McGovern has sliced that one. Made all of 10 metres.
Yeah, she knows it as well, doesn't she? Understands the importance of territory and trying to get down the field. Those ones happen. But as we were saying only a few minutes ago, what an opportunity it was for Exeter, what an opportunity now it is for Saracens after that really quick start to the second half for them to have a good attacking set.
Sophie Bridger's first start of the campaign is done, so Emma Hardy joins us wearing number 22. Someone you played alongside for a long time at Loughborough.
Backwards.
Oh, it's messy, messy ball for Campbell. How she has managed to wrestle herself back in field and present that backwards. Feat of sorcery. Rose always manages to dent the gain line. Something different from Harrison. Ball's going to sit up for Poulin. Beats Sharp. Sets off on one of her trademark jinking runs.
No, no, no!
Now they can exit. Tessier on the arc around past Lincoln's, Buchanan. Memories of 2023 ripple around this place. What she did to Saracens that afternoon. Back for McGovern. Better contact this time. Lincoln's onto Harrison. Poulin with all the time in the world.
Keep moving backwards, backwards.
Corrigan. Saracens licking their lips here. They know that Chiefs are vulnerable to counter-attacks. It's an area they concede from really heavily. McGovern's not as quick as Poulin. Finds herself in hot water. Granzosso's clear out, and Saracens turnover.
Behind the line. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Move away, ladies, move away.
Saracens clearly want to keep the pace high in this game. They want to get the ball, and they've gone.
Saracens playing quickly. It's the way they play their rugby this season. Quicker than ever. Take the quick tap and then roll up some large sleeves over even bigger biceps. Evans is there. Chiefs conceding the penalty. Sarries with a free hit. They can spin it out if they fancy. This for the bonus point. This to ensure whatever happens, they won't leave here empty-handed. There it is. Try scored by Donna Rose. Bonus point in the bag.
I mean, at the moment, the greatest source of attacking flair almost is coming from counter-attack. Both sides getting so much opportunity just with either some loose kicks or loose kick chases. This kick through from Zoe Harrison, Marley Packer, Georgia Evans do a brilliant job to chase after it as well as they do.
30 seconds.
Then Marley Packer on her feet, back trying to get the ball. Granzotto off her feet. Rosie Gallagher goes quick. Again, don't know how many times we can say it, but Saracens are absolutely ruthless when they get into this area of the field. And they prove it yet again.
Better again from Harrison. Saracens with 14 unanswered points since the resumption of this one. The change of ends has suited them just fine. And Donna Rose is going to have a lovely shiner to accompany her Sunday roast tomorrow. Demi Swan is on, wearing number 17, so Hope Rogers. Santa is now done until after Christmas. There she is. And Exeter need to find answers. Saracens just need to hold on.
Yeah, always in, I agree, yeah. On the end of the line. Yes. Not straight with the contest. Scrum will line out.
Well, perhaps symptomatically of this entire fixture, the line-out has come unstuck. Saracens, perhaps unsurprisingly, and again, Emily, this is testament to the calibre of replacement front rowers that Exeter have. They've called the line-out here.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, they just had a little discussion with the referee there, whether that was a wholesale decision or what he's heard from somebody. So a little bit of difference in opinion there. But yeah, called the line out. Again, look, this is where it's really interesting from a Saracen side. So often in this area of the field, in the context of the game, this would be a maul for a pen, get themselves in good areas of the field. So this is where it's interesting to see how much that attacking mindset has shifted and what decisions they decide to take.
Vantage pulls the arm, number 6.
Saracens racking up the penalties in the first 40, but Exeter starting to stray on the wrong side of the referee in this third quarter. Hardy with the clear out there, so they can attack this short side. Packer finding Gallagher. Temperatures really dropped here. Misting up.
6 loses a contest and then pulls the arm.
Steam rising from the scrums. And Exeter, you feel, have cooled themselves a little. Some of the intensity has gone out of their rugby. It's been a while since we saw them really flex any muscles.
Yeah, just a little bit, and also give credit, I think, to Saracens. This is where they really come to the fore in those tight exchanges, the understanding of shifts in momentum, the understanding, as we spoke about then, in terms of what's required in that part of the field at this point in the game. They didn't quite get to the maul, but they got themselves a penalty. They're now further down the field. So yeah, certainly Exeter got to do something to find a big play to get themselves back going in the second half.
4, out you go.
Meanwhile, Packer and co looking to turn the screw. This maul still going. Campbell with it tucked underneath one arm. Hardy in at first receiver. Harrison, there she is, back in the pocket. Gregson couldn't quite gather. Dabbed on by Granzotto. Poulin off her own thigh. Then the kick. Foot race with Lottie Sharp. How good is that? Sharp just about wrestles it back. And the ball presentation. Classy, classy stuff from the former skipper. Apps, Gregson, Linkins falls over her own foot. Sharp missed the start of the season with a torn pec and by all accounts spent the entire rehab period on the watt bike getting fitter and faster than ever, and there's the proof.
100% there's the proof. Again, just a little bit sloppy from Saracens. Exeter needed something to change momentum. It was fortuitous, but as you say, Lottie Sharp and the pace, I love to see foot races like that when they're so close to each other, out and out gas. Poulan is having to control it with her feet, but Lottie Sharp just goes, most importantly, she goes down a fraction earlier. It means she's able to get on the ball first and have a chance of controlling it. But nonetheless, big momentum shift now. Exeter scrum right down in this bottom corner on Saracens 22.
Set.
Vice-captain Flo Robinson feeds. Sister and captain Emily Robinson ships it back on. Poulan. Granzosso appearing out of nowhere. Poulan with options on her shoulder, but decided to carry. Tessier hunting a hat-trick. Packer looking to spoil, but just about staying legal. McGovern with the little dummy. Van der Velden stretching gargantuan limbs. Exeter looking for their first points of this second half. They need them. Oh, it's Abs who's gathered. A brilliant opportunity extinguished in the flash. Rose barreling into wall. Saracens having to play from awfully deep here. The kick pass from Harrison is perfect. On now to Corrigan. She's got Poulan to beat in Hersel's-Allen. Opts to ride the tackle, place it back, but Sarries with front foot attacking, counter-attacking ball. Harrison stabs it on and Apps can't gather. It's just marvellous. Eyes up, heads up attack. It's exactly the sort of thing which will have so delighted and frustrated the man who's alongside Jenny Drummond. It is a bonsoir et bienvenue to our coverage to Kevin Rouet.
Thanks very much, Claire. Showing off with your fluent French. I can't quite go down that route myself. But Kevin Rouet alongside me, Canada's head coach, and now it's been announced this week, attack coach of Saracens. And right on cue, we just saw a brilliant counter-attack from Sarries. What are you liking so far?
It was a tough start for us, but I like our second half come back with more composure and more connection with each other. So we make a lot of unforced error, but as soon as we're going to refine that, I know we can be way better.
What kind of influence are you wanting to bring to this PWR side? Obviously, you're very used to coaching in the international circles, but more a domestic side.
I respect the PWR. I've seen them for like the past now 4 years, 5 years. So I also just want to enjoy my time here and just bring new ID to the Saracens team. So just like it's an exchange. So it's a fun exchange at the moment and making them looking more space than shape sometimes.
Working alongside Alex Osterbury, you guys worked together over the Women's World Cup. What's it like in terms of your personalities, both different?
Yes, we are emotional people, but we love rugby, so I think it's a good matchup and we have good conversation, so I love that.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Emily Robinson, very well wrapped up, Christmas present-esque by Packer.
Don't compete on the wrong side.
Chiefs can immediately march their way back upfield.
I think I asked the question in terms of how much Saracens would continue to go after this attacking style. And I think that crossfield kick we saw just before we heard from Kevin Rouet really shows the intent and the mindset shift and their ability to see the space and get it there no matter where they are on the field, no matter the context of the game. I love to see that. Alicia Corrigan catching it in full flight, setting themselves up an opportunity to run in from, you know, their own 22.
Got a question for you about that, but I'll wait until play stops because you don't know what's going to happen next in this game. Allen Fending off Hardy, well wrapped up by Sharp, who's been a titan on both sides of the ball today. Poulain sticks another couple of metres onto an almighty tally. Nice hands there from Menon. McGovern. There's a glut of Chiefs bodies in the midfield here, and Van der Velden has not read the memo about the role of a look forward. She has been hoovering up space. Short side attack, McGovern at the heart of it. Buchanan hit upright by Abs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to have another look at that one. It both very upright, and Abs immediately kind of stepped away from it, knowing she'd potentially got that one wrong.
Advantage for McGovern, delicately through, waiting for the referee's whistle. There it is.
We have head contact, we have foul play. I'm seeing it as a low degree of danger, and there is a step. I'm at penalty only. Rosie, you've got time.
Yeah, you stay with your on-field decision.
Thank you. High tackle. I'm not stopping the game. I'm not stopping the game. Onside.
Well, there's plenty of rugby still to be played in this one. But as things stand there,
Taken back.
get the sense Chiefs might really be left with a bitter taste in the mouth, a sense of coulda, shoulda. Because they have had their opportunities, Exeter, in this second half. They just haven't taken them. Exeter win the penalty, and they have 4 fresh legs out on the park, because on is Gabriella Negrelli wearing 19 and Merrin Elworthy wearing number 23, whilst for Saracens, a very special moment for a very special individual, because Jodie Verghese is on, wearing number 20 for her PWR debut. Emily, she's freshly from the Loughborough University programme, so go on, tell us about Jodie.
Yeah, so thrilled for her to make her PWR debut and get out there. Unfortunately, for so much of her time at Loughborough, she was injured, so she was rehabbing so hard, wanted to get herself back out on the field, and managed to do that just at the end of her time with us. But so good to see her. She obviously made the change post-university. She got some good PWR Cup time with Saracens, and yeah, as you say, great to see her out there now. Hopefully she can use all of that physicality that she possesses.
Speaking of physicality, here comes Gabby Senft, formerly of this parish. She's played for a fair few clubs as the Canadian, Bristol, Queensland Reds, St Baudelaire and France's Elite 1. So she is on to replace Rosie Galligan. Bryony Field is on to the field. She's gone to hooker for Saracens. May Campbell has replaced Marley Packer as a flanker.
No. If you're going to change numbers, we have to give them time to adjust. Okay, let's go.
Both coaches reaching deep into their bench. 12 minutes left to play.
Not straight with a contest.
I was just thinking, you know, looking at the clock
Scrum
there,
or line
68 minutes, that if Exeter want to get themselves back in their game, there's still a long time left, don't get me wrong, but it felt like in the next couple of minutes, in this potential occasion that they had with a line-out opportunity, they had to come away with something, and unfortunately, yet again, just the line-out hasn't been that pretty from either side today, okay. I don't think, has it? It's not really given that stable platform for either side to really get going from.
One of the things they really love Verghese for is the punch and the physicality she brings to the set piece. By all accounts, their scrum was pulverising opposition during the PWR Cup back in September and October, and it was her shoving at the heart of that. This, though, a different beast. This, a very dominant Exeter scrum, but rising with it is Evans. Here she is, ball in hand.
Vantage knock on.
Stripped, knocked on.
First one comes off head, then you knock it on, and then it comes off your head. Scrum.
Yeah, this is the one that has to. And for Saracens, Georgia Evans, what a brilliant carry off the base that was. And they're probably the ones that you just don't want to force at that part of the field. You want to get yourselves out of it. But yeah, for Exeter, you feel like this is the moment. As I say, 10 minutes is still a really long time in rugby. But in order to try and shift that momentum and get themselves back on the scoreboard and give themselves a shot, you feel like now is a great time.
Time on.
Negrelli at the base, Allen on the open side. Captain Emily Robinson switches to 6, and her sister will feed a scrum that has to be a catalyst, has to launch something for them to remain in the fight. That'll do. In fact, that might even be better.
Yeah, it's a great start.
Too much second time.
Tessier will now, as we saw in the previous one, she'll be going for deep into the 22, but obviously the key bit being that it definitely goes out. And then it's line out time, which, again, be interesting to see Sarri's theory defensively on it, whether they try and get up and compete, because they've had quite a lot of joy disrupting, or whether they stay down and all heads in the maul.
It's Alex Tessier and Liv McGovern who run the attack for Exeter Chiefs this season from an on-pitch perspective. There was the call, whatever the clenched fists mean. She might just have cold fingers. Totosi has her orders. Wall has the ball. Nothing subtle about this. Wall screaming and in floods everyone. McGovern adds some weight. Buchanan adds some weight. Need to strike now, Exeter. Have to make this one count. Tessier round to the short side. Flo Robinson rooting for it. Saracens have stemmed the bleeding, and the little scrum off goes alone.
What a shot that was from Zoe Harrison.
Big shot. Half back on half back there. Wall is the latch over the top, supporting Exeter as they go hunting for a score they need to attach an oxygen mask to their hopes of this game. Buchanan ducking and dodging and swerving and stressing out Saracens, not for the first time.
Still advantage offside.
Saracens have strayed offside, so there's an advantage here for Exeter. They'll have a penalty at worst. We're into the final 10 minutes now.
Behind the back foot.
No team scores more multi-phase tries in the competition than Exeter. This is their bread and butter. Yes, we're loving the sparkle this season, but this is what they are famous for. And they've lost it. Back for the penalty advantage.
Offside, 2 guards. So you clearly tap the ball. Stay behind.
Menin. So powerful, brute strength, and here's another one. Adding some more. Allen round the corner, loses her footing.
Saracens are so tight around this breakdown at the moment. There's an absolute walk-in on this right-hand side if the Exeter want to take it.
Totosi stopped in her tracks. Cantona's in the backfield, so too McGovern. Buchanan hogging that far touchline, but it's to the open side they will go. Deutsch needed to gather that one, can't do so. Toulan with the ball.
Knock on.
Scrum advantage, listen to the drums. Emily Robinson. They've gone backwards here, Exeter.
No advantage, that's a knock on the floor. Back we come for the knock on.
They have the scrum, but they have not got much time.
Well, maybe I was a bit dramatic with describing it as a walk-in, but there was certainly so much space. You can see there, Lottie Sharp is the last defender, and she'd shifted a fair bit as well. If she was able to get up and mark that, that would have been the absolute dream outcome from Saracens, but nonetheless, Exeter have just got to be really patient. They obviously had that opportunity. Things change so quickly when you're attacking. Saracens had loosened off a little bit. Lottie Sharp had seen that space and covered it. Was it a better option to go through the hands and give yourself an opportunity to run? They're all the things that you have to consider in split-second moments in a game that's high pressure. You're trying to get yourself back into it. This is why we love rugby, right? That's why I love rugby.
That's why we all love rugby. It's why poor Steve Salvin can't sit down.
Time on. No, we're sorry, we're in line with him. Here, just here. There it was.
I mean, those stats are pretty damning, aren't they? They very much speak for themselves, but it's the same story. Saracens have just been able to capitalise on nearly every opportunity they've had down in the 22 of Exeter, and Exeter just haven't been able to do the same.
Yeah, I mean, Brennan is on in the backfield for Exeter. They called something, they have a plan. A try here, and they're in losing bonus point territory, and then they can think about bigger, mightier outcomes. Flo Robinson, McGovern, Tessier, Elworthy's the dummy runner, out and onto Buchanan, who's fiendishly quick and deceptively strong with it. Brennan and Poulenc combining, but that's what Alicia Corrigan brings you.
Hands off, that's a rock. That's a rock.
Such an essential player for club and for country, the Olympic silver medalist. Here's the youngster, here's the debutant, Verghese. Harrison has leathered that.
Thank you.
And that, you suspect, might just be the match.
Oh, here we go again. Exeter have this attacking opportunity. Strike play from the scrum. Tessier, what a ball that is over the top. It gives Buchanan the one-on-one opportunity. She does as much as she can. Corrigan defends it really intelligently. Doesn't give her either the outside or the inside. Then she's able to stay in the fight and get the rip. Referee said it went backwards, but Alicia Corrigan did a brilliant job. First of all, defensively, so exposed out in those wide channels, and secondly, just to disrupt that ball in the tackle.
Time on, please.
Alicia Corrigan, try in the Olympic final at the Stade de France. 4 scores in the last World Cup. She is so classy. Brennan swerving up over the 10-metre through the legs of Menon. Van der Veldens to try and turn this into some sort of platform.
It's a good lead.
Allen finds Elworthy, and just coming apart at the seams now, this performance from Chiefs. They've been shut out in this second 40. Saracens have done all the damage. Allen drills that one through, but she's nothing like the striker of the ball that Harrison is.
Backwards by Black.
It's a long way from home here for Elworthy, and she's isolated here, straight over the ball. Paige Farries.
Onside 16.
Got to go 80 metres if they want to head into their bye week and their Christmas break. Exeter Chiefs with something from this encounter.
Hold Black.
Ends over end this time from McGovern. Yeah. Tori Sells is on, wearing 21. Great spatial awareness from the young scrum half there. Corrigan still going, still hustling.
No, you went off your feet with your left hand.
Campbell plays scrum half.
Left off feet.
Allen off her feet. And
see.
Emily now feels like finally we have a moment. It's been so breathless for you to tell us who you think might be in the running for our player of the match tonight.
Yeah, there's been some really good performances in a game that has been obviously quite topsy-turvy, and both sides have had their moments and had their errors as well. But there's been a few players, I think, certainly that have stood up for both sides. Some players from the beginning and some that certainly from Saracens have really helped to turn the tide in this second half.
Replacement 9 and 6.
For me, Linda van der Velde has been excellent for Exeter. The way she's carried her physicality around the park, both sides of the ball. Alex Tessier, 2 tries for her, and just how she's, you know, flown herself around the park, conducted everything. Georgia Evans, I think, has really been the catalyst for Saracens, along with Zoe Harrison. But Georgia Evans obviously setting up that try initially. I think her defensive work for large parts of that first half has also been brilliant. So they're my 4 nominees.
Don't change 16.
4 absolute powerhouses. Salos thinks there might be opportunity down the short side. Saying no is Zoe Dare. Combining that with Lucy Nye to make the tackle.
Just there, please.
So it's a Chiefs ball with 2.5 minutes left to play. And 80 metres the difference.
That last 8 minutes to me
Ladies,
has
let's remember where the
absolutely
mark
flown
is.
by.
It's
Just
on the
looking
edge of
back
the
down
line,
at the clock now, with only, as you say, a few minutes left. Exeter really now they've got to give everything. It means they'll probably be trying to go from deep. It means that offloads, if they try and throw them, have to stick. They need to get bounces of the balls and all that sort of stuff that they potentially haven't had all game yet.
Taken in.
Nye, McGovern, Nicorelli on to Allen. Maisie Allen needs support because white jerseys are flocking to the open side. That's 40 of the 80 metres, that's a start. Ferocious at the breakdown, and that's why they're called the Wolf Pack.
Good counter-up, and you've come in at the side.
All
back
snarl
and go,
and
Good
fans and rippling muscle.
Side entry.
Nevins and Campbell rise from the wreckage of what could have been something truly special.
What a line that is from Maisie Allen. I said about Exeter have got to go from deep, and therefore you assume potentially they'll try and get the ball to the edge. Felt like that's what Sarries assumed as well. Zoe Harrison just taking all of that additional time to make sure that she gets her penalty kick out to touch. But this is the break. Maisie Allen coming back against the grain. It's so nice. And then she's just in open water all by herself. She does so well. Fights back, and then look who's there. Georgia Evans straight back on her feet, firing back over the breakdown.
More.
Field to Omakwale.
Once.
Sellers.
Don't touch the 9.
Scrags it out and looks to unleash Hardy. Kicks that one dead.
Keep that mark, please.
Well watched by Poulin.
Well, the one thing you do have here at Sandy Park is enormous dead ball areas, so it's not a bad shout. It also continues to take time out of the clock.
Yeah. Thank you.
Saracens now obviously as that clock just tick into the red have won this game, but what is so important for them in terms of the context of the league is making sure that Exeter now don't get anything from this, keeping them without a losing bonus point. We saw last season how tight it got towards the end, so every single point matters.
Georgia Evans has now played in 4 different positions at scrum time for Saracens this afternoon. She is multi-talented. What have Exeter got? One final throw of the dice.
Advantage.
That, though, nightmare execution, and that, their second 40 in a nutshell, really. Possession lost. Saracens surely aren't going to go after more. That would be greedy. Pragmatism prevails. And the Wolfpack hit the front. That is 6 straight victories, and they will surge to the summit of the PWR, looking increasingly the real deal. They really had to problem solve today, but the second half was all about Liv Apps and Zoe Harrison and these women in white. And they have managed to take their second ever victory down here at Sandy Park. Chiefs had their chances. They led at the break, and they will rue the opportunities that they left out there, of which there were many. They'll be glad to see the back of 2025. 5 wins in 15 and a huge amount of upheaval. But the green shoots maybe just starting to emerge as we head into Christmas and the new year. Saracens, though, top of the charts for the first time since last October, and their rematch with Gloucester Hartpury in round 14 is a mouth-watering prospect. But we can't look beyond the 80 minutes that we have just enjoyed, and Emily Scarrett, you need to select a Built for Athletes player of the match from all of that.
Yeah, we obviously had some contenders on the screen not so long ago, but I think for me, Georgia Evans was the absolute catalyst to Saracens coming back into this game. She had some lovely touches, that brilliant line that we spoke about that led to the Macmillan try. defensively, she's just so sound, and her work rate around the park. So our Built for Athletes player of the match is Georgia Evans.
Well, in a week where we have celebrated Exeter Chiefs shooting an exposed calendar and embracing their femininity in that way, a moment for Georgia Evans, who embraces hers with a bright pink bow, which today was thrashing its way quite merrily around Sandy Park. This one always delivers. It really, really does. Full time here in Exeter, and it's Saracens leaving with the goods. Pop the kettle on and then dash right back. If last week's half-time was anything to go by, you will not want to miss what Sarah Elgin has got planned for the end of our show.